So in this video, we are going to go over how we set up the review system without review gating. Now, what is review gating, right? Review gating is something Google prohibits. So let's check here. Review gating, right? Something Google prohibits. So review gating is a prohibited practice of selectively soliciting positive reviews while steering customers with negative experiences towards private internal feedback channels. So most of the tutorials here on YouTube teach you the review system, but then there is review gating involved. So I'm going to explain to you how we avoid that, but still get the highest number of positive reviews as possible, right? Because this review gating can get your Google account banned, right? And that's not good. That's not good. And I don't even want to go to paying uh, people you find on Facebook groups or someone promising you that they can get your or they can remove the negative reviews from your business, right? So that just won't work. If you get your account banned and then it's not worth it. So also we are going to go over, this is the system. I'm going to take you through everything here, right? And then how to create this, right? So let me just explain to you what happens, and then yeah, we'll build everything from scratch. Okay. So when can you use this system, right? You can use this for your activation. So let's say we are working with a client, or you have a list of you know old customers you didn't ask for a review from. We can upload them into GoHighLevel and then use the review system in that way. Or after a job is done, right? So if you're a roofer and then you get finished with a job, so this is how we avoid using the review gate, right? So we sort the customers based on a pipeline. Review gating only comes in if you solicit, right? If you what's the name? You ask for what they would rate you, and then those who say they'll rate you badly, you would prevent them from reviewing you. But review gating doesn't come in if you know this is a bad customer and then you don't send them the link for review at all. So that doesn't involve review gating, or yeah, your review gating doesn't come in over there, right? So what we do is sort the customers based on a pipeline, right? So I'm going to show you what our pipeline looks like. So we have job completed, happy customer, and then job completed and happy, and then we just don't send the review request to these guys, right? So yeah, that's what I mean by sorting customers based on a pipeline. And then some also add a tag based on the feedback from the rep. So those who go out to do the work on the site, you can ask them, right? How do you think this customer rate us, or do they have a good experience or bad experience? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't focus on those who had a bad experience. You need to focus on those who improve them. I'm just saying you do not have to send them the review link to have bad reviews on Google or any other platform you are using, right? So the happy customers, we send them to the review system. The unhappy customers, well, we don't just leave them, right? We can create unhappy sequences like how can we fix it? Um, what if we offer this for you? Would that make you happy? Next time, and all those sort of things, right? So you can send them to some sequences, right? Now with the happy sequence, with the happy clients or the happy customers, we send them to the review system. So now we have two types I'm going to show you in this video. So we have the SMS type, which is the main type I think a lot of people use. And then we also have the survey type, right? So we are going to build everything, both of these systems from scratch in this video, right? So with the SMS type, we send them a review request. If they say 5, we send them a review link SMS immediately. And if they say 1 to 4, we still send them the review link, right? But then we try contacting to remediate, but we still send them the review link, right? Now with the survey request, we can't really or we've not solved for how we can really contact them yet with the service. So if they say 5, we send them the review link page. And if they say 1 to 4, we show them the make us better slide, but then we still send them the review link. So let me show you what happens. So if they say 5, the next is we send them to the review link. But if they say 4 or something, what can we do to improve your experience next time? And then we still send them the review link, right? So yeah, that's what I mean by this, right? So yeah, so let me stop here and then let's build this from scratch. We build it from scratch. Let's create a new start from scratch. Now you can name it the review system, the review workflow, or how you prefer, whatever name you prefer. Review workflow. Great. So now, what is the trigger, right? What is the trigger? The trigger is a tag, right? But I'll come to the trigger once we. But the trigger is a tag. Let me just go over it. The trigger is a tag. So here we create a tag for. So when we sort the customer based on the pipeline, now a tag is created if they are happy or unhappy customer. Now if they are happy, right, a different tag is created. So let me show you the workflow we use for that review system. So you can see the workflow we use for that, right? So now if the pipeline stage got completed happy, that's the tags for this workflow. Now if they are happy, we tag them happy customer. And if they are unhappy, we send them to a different workflow as I talked about, or different sequence. But then we add a tag to the happy client and send them a review request. So the tag is send review request, right? So always this workflow begins with when a tag is added, right? So send review request. So when you are doing your reactivation, you can I think I'll show you how to import a list later in the video. But after you import your list, you can quickly add tag to them, and then which will trigger this workflow. Or after a job is done, you can quickly add a tag to a lead, and then it will trigger this workflow, right? So that's what happens for that. So let's start with that. So add a new trigger. So contact tag. So for this tag added, select tag. So send request. Right, send request. So you can always create a new tag with this, right? Anything you want. Right, so we are going to use send request for now. This trigger. Now what happens next? So we send their feedback SMS, right? So that we can sort them, right? Now note, this system is only sent to the happy customers, right? It's sent to the happy customers, or those we think would would leave us a 5-star review, right? So it means we might still get 1 to 4-star reviews from these guys because we are not certain for sure. But then we still want to solve for those situations, right? So let's see what we did over here. Let me just copy this. And you can always create this text with GPT, right? Anyway, so hey, contact first name. This is user first name. So who was assigned the client, right? From the business, right? So let's say XYZ Roofing. Just wanted to ask how satisfied you are with our service, or what would you rate us from 1 to 5, right? And then we always like to name our steps so that we know we don't get confused later on, right? Review request, right? So that's the text, right? So now their answers on this, or from this text, would be 1 to 5, right? Excluding some rare situations, right? But it should predominantly be from 1 to 5. Okay. So we wait, right? So after this, we wait for 30 minutes. Okay. We wait for 3 minutes. Okay. Now, why do we wait for 3 minutes? So that when we do reply for the next SMS, it feels like the user is actually a human being and this is not an AI or automated workflow, right? Even though they might know, or but we just want to make sure that it looks like a human being is actually replying to them. Now, then the next step is still wait, but then with this wait, we don't use the time delay. We use the wait for contact reply, right? And then we reply step is we choose delivery request SMS. So wait for them to reply to this first SMS. Then we let's save this action, right? Then we move on to the next step, right? So that's what happens over here, right? Now, we did include a timeout, right, which is 3 minutes, so that after 3 minutes, if they don't reply, we send them a follow up, right? But I think it should be but yeah. So we did include a timeout for 3 minutes, right? So if they've not replied after 3 minutes, we send them a follow up. I think it should be. Let's change it to. Let's change it. Let's change it to an hour. Okay. So after 1 hour, if they don't reply, we send them a follow up, one follow up, and then that's it, right? Now, when they reply, what happens? Okay, so right, so we create an if or else condition, right? An if or else. So we are going to name this branch from 1 to 4. Right. Now, what happens if the contact replied message contains 1? And then this is very important. You need to select all because it then means you can reply with 1 or 2, but then let's do if contact replied message contains 1, right? So some people can decide to spell it instead of just writing 1 or typing 1, right? So we solve for all those situations, right? Now let's continue. Replied message contact reply message contains 2. uh reply message reply message contains contains 2, all, right? So contact replied message contains 3, all. Sorry. um 4. Now 4 isn't necessarily a bad um review, but then we prefer 5-star reviews only if you are going to rank higher on Google, right? So yeah, we like focusing more on the 5-star reviews. Okay, so that for this branch, right? Now we are not adding a segment, we are adding a new branch. And the branch is going to be named 5. Okay, so when we get 5-star or 5 as an answer, so the same thing, contact replied message contains 5, or let's change that, replied message contact replied message contains 5. Okay, now that's that. So we save. Now so far this is what we have, right? So 1 to 4 and then 5, and then what happens when none of these conditions are met, right? Now let's focus, or let's come to what we do after an are, right? So the follow up we send out after they don't reply, or after 1 hour if they don't reply, right? If they don't reply after 1 hour, right? So we send an SMS. As I said earlier, we are sending only one SMS. And let's name this follow up, right? SMS. And then what do we see? Right. So hey, contact person. Did you get my message? Your feedback would help us a lot. Thanks. Right. And then so we can ask here so that right so that we try and get the 1 to 5 as an answer. So what would would you rate us from 1 to 5? Right. Right. So let's just copy this, then paste it. Right. So we try and get the 1 to 5 as an answer. And then we wait. We wait for how many minutes are we waiting here? Selection. So we wait for contact to reply. Sorry. We wait for contact to reply to this message. So we are selecting the follow up here, selection. And then we send them to this step, right? So we don't want to recreate this whole thing again. So we can do something in GHL known as the go to, right? You can just search it here, go to, then save action, and then you click on the destination, right? So you can see when you click on it, it sends to here, right? It takes you here. Now that's that. So now let's come to what happens when when we get an answer that contains 1 to 4. Okay. So we send an SMS. Now what do we say in this SMS? Sorry, first we send an internal notification. Sorry, we send an internal notification to all users via SMS to all users saying what um this contact name is not happy with our service, right? And then we send another internal notification to the assigned person or to the assigned user, right? Assigned user say what exactly is not happy with our service. Please reach out and ask why, or to remedy, or whatever language you decide to use, right? You can change it to your preference, right? And then now what happens here is that we wait for a particular condition to be met. So if after 2 hours we don't have them, or we don't have a tag which is changed to, or we don't have a tag added to them as a happy customer, right? So let me show you what happens here. So includes happy customer, right? Right. So we wait for this to happen, right? If after 2 hours, because let me show you what happens. So if they try to remedy it, right? They try contacting to remedy it, and they successfully remedy it, they will then add a tag saying this customer is now happy, right? This customer is now happy, and then after that, we then send them the review link, right? Now, if after 2 hours the customer is still not happy, then what happens? We send them an SMS. We still send them the link, right? We still send them the trigger link, but then we ask them, is there anything we can do to give you a better experience next time, right? So let's see how we build that. So we send them an SMS. right? So let me just copy this. Now I'll show you how to create a trigger link for your request so that you can track, right? So now we'll be using this trigger link. I'll explain to you why we are using it in this video. But that's it. So let's remedy SMS. All right. And then we add tag unhappy customer. Mm. So that's after 2 hours, right? If they are not added a tag happy customer. Now if they are added a tag happy customer, we will take them to go to we'll take them to this step again, right? Right. Review request. Right. Now yeah, and we add a tag unhappy customer. Add tag unhappy customer. Cool. Now what happens here when we get a 5 as an answer? We simply do what? Send them the review. We don't even wait. I think we don't wait, right? We just send them the SMS right away. Thank you, contact first name. Right, thank you, contact first name. Um, if you don't mind, would you leave us a review? It will take a few seconds. And it will mean a lot to us, right? So here's the link. Now here's why this trigger link is important, right? So we wait, right? We wait for the trigger link to be clicked. Now, let me show you how we create that. To wait, trigger link clicked, and then you select trigger link. We have the review link. Now I'll show you how to create the trigger link. Let's just do it now, right? So let me just show you how the trigger link is created, right? So you come to marketing, come to trigger link, and then you add a link, and then you enter URL. Now you can find your Google or any review request link here. Once you connect your one of these businesses, right? Either Airbnb, Google. So we can find Google here, Google Business Profile. Right. So you can use this workflow to request for um any request link, right? And then you can create your review link, your custom link here, right? So that's how you create the trigger links, and then where you can create your review link or get your review link, right? So also you can get your review link by going to Google, your Google My Business profile. You can scroll to review, and then you can just click on there and get your review links, right? Or you can find a different video. It's very easy. You can just type in how to get my review link on Google, and then the steps are very simple. You can copy your review link, and then you paste it where the trigger link is supposed to be, and then you have your trigger link. Right? Now, why do we wait for this, right? Why do we have this? Wait for this to be clicked so that we can ask for permission for user-generated content, right? Now, Google tells you that you can use someone's review on your website or to generate content to attract customers, right? If you get their permission, right? So now that's what we are trying to solve for here. So once they get right, or once they click the link and leave a review, we send them another SMS saying what, right? UGC SMS. So I appreciate the positive review. Would you mind if I shared your experience so I can find more customers like you? And most certainly, most of the time, the answer will be yes, right? So UGC SMS. We always name this UGC SMS. Now the answer will be yes, and then you have your UGC SMS. So that's yeah, that is that for that. So then what happens? We end the workflow. Okay, so that's how we create the review system. without without what? Without the review gating. Now let's move on to how we create the survey type. Some of you guys might prefer sending out a link like this. So let's see how we create that. Okay, cool. So now we create this and then you publish, right? So make sure you publish, otherwise you won't be able to use this workflow, right? So publishing is very important. So now let's go to site, go to service, build. So this is what we are trying to build, right? So Google reviews. Or let's just open it up here so that we can build it from scratch, right? Let's come back. Well, if you have to save this, so we can come back here, like add survey. So we are going to start from scratch, right? So here we are starting from scratch. Great. Now, yeah. So first we create a first slide, which is what the main slide, right? I'm going to show you how to create all of this, right? So how would you rate us? Let's create that. So setting. So you can name it whatever. Slide one, or so just name it the main slide. Right? And then you add the text right here. The text. How would you rate us? How would you rate us? Question mark. And then you add your custom field. Now with this custom field, I'm going to show you how to create it, but let me just add this. No, let me just show you. So let me show you how we create this custom field. So you come to settings, come to custom fields. So let's just create one from scratch. Add field. You're going to choose radio select. Next. So let me name this review stars 2. Now, how do we get the stars, right? So if on your keyboard, just click on Windows plus um plus full stop, right? Windows plus full stop. I don't know what it is for Mac, but I'm sure you can find it, right? The combination. And then you select stars, 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 stars. So five stars. And then brackets open, 5 star. And then you add an option, basically the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then same thing, 4 star. You add an option. 1, 2, 3. Same thing. 3, 3 star. And then you add an option. 1, 2, 2 star. And then you add an option. 1 star. 1 star. Perfect, right? So these are the options you add. Then you save, right? The group. So let me just select the group. So I have wall. Let me just add it to this group contacts. Right? We can choose the group you want to add it to. And then it is saved, right? So when we come back here, we just have to search it by review review. Well, let's name this server first. Review server. But let Let me just uh, save this, and then let's refresh the page so that you can have the contact field updated on the save, right? So add object field, search, review, review stars 2. All right. So this is the one we just created right now. So you can see it here. Review stars 2. Now, or we rename this to how would you would you rate a perfect, right? And then that's that for slide 1. Then we add slide 2. Now I'll show you the logic we use after we finish creating all the slides, right? So let's name this slide 2. What do we have as a name here? We have the link, right? So this is the slide they go to um after they choose a 5-star, right? We still have a text added. So quick add text. Let's just add this text over here. So what did we say here? Thank you for your feedback. So that's if they choose 5, right? Please leave us a review on Google. Thank you for the feedback. These are good minutes to ask. And then here's the important part you need to take note of. We add an HTML, right? We add an HTML, right? And then what we do is that, let me just copy what we have here, right? So there are a lot of videos online where you can find how to do this, how to get a hyperlink, right? Using HTML. So, but then let me just copy this, or you can also just pause this video here and type this out, right? Right. So let me just paste this, and most important, this is where your link will go to, right? So you would paste your link in here within this quotation marks, right? Right. So let's just save it, and then you see script added. So whenever you preview, so maybe when we are done with preview, we can preview this page. That's what you see, right? So when they click on here, they can go directly to your review request page, right? And leave your review. Now that's that for the next page. Now we create a page for um slide 3. That's the remedy page when they don't, or if they don't choose 5, right? So now what happens? What can what can we do? It's supposed to be what can we do? What can we do to improve your experience next time? All right. So we choose text multiline. All right. So what can we do to improve your experience next time? And then we still send them the review link, right? So to prevent review gating, right? So let's just move this over here. We duplicated it and then we move it over. Same thing. So the same link. And then we have the thank you page. The thank you page. You page. So thank you for your feedback. Right. So that's it. We add a text. You paste this in, and voila, that's it. That's what we have. So now let me show you the logic. Right. So I think the arrangement is off. So, right. I think this is supposed to come here. Right. So yeah, I just sorted. Right. So okay, so thank you for your feedback. Let me show you how we do the logic. Right. So now, where do you get the logic? Right. So you click on this open conditional logic after the add survey element. Just click on open conditional logic. Jump to the field, the custom field. You choose the custom field you created. How would you rate us? and then it's equal to, right, 5. Then go to the link, right? If you can remember, we were going to the link. So when they just choose 5 star, we send them the link directly, and then we save. And then we create a second jump to conditional logic. So fill how the rate us. Now we choose is not equal to this. So if they choose any other than this, then we send them to the remedy page, and then we save it. So that's the only two conditional logic events we have. Now let's save this. Let's proceed, and then let's preview. Proceed. So you can see what we created, right? So this is what we created. So how would you rate as 5? Right, to take you to this page, and then how would you rate as 4? Take you to, but you can still leave a review. 1, 2, still leave a review, and then 5 star, and then next. Then you can, right. So I think we should have, right. So now let's do something next. So after this page, select conditional logic. After this page, right, we are going to jump to, after this page, right. So after this page, we are jumping to the thank you page. Okay, to save. Right. So let's preview this again. Right. So how you rate as 5? Good meaning as thank you for your feedback. Great. So that's how we use Outlook. Okay. So now I think we have the video there. So we went over um how we did this. So now, I think I have to show you how to import, right? Right. So now import. So you go to contact, come to contact. Um, right. So let's just wait for it to load. So you come to import. So let me just contact next. So let me just download the sample file and show you. So the sample file. So that will be your list, right? Your list. Create an update contact. Next. So yeah, so this would be it. So sometimes you find out that, or you find that this some of these things are not matched, right? So that everything is matched. You click on next. Now you always try and create a smart list, right? So create a smart list and then you name it whatever. So review request, right? And then yeah, you have everything. So I can confirm. You always take this before you can see the start bulk import, and then you import, right? So when you come here, you can see review request link, and then right. So let's just wait for it to complete. Yep, you can see the review request. Yes, so you can select them all, right? Select all for contact, and then you can just add tag, right? So you can select the tag, name it test. I'm not going to do this, by the way. And you select add tag, send. You can search for it, just send review request, and then it will trigger it immediately. Okay. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Now if you would like help, right, implementing the system for your business or roofing business, you can DM me. I have the first link in the description down below. So thank you guys for watching, and then hope this was helpful, and see you guys in the next one.